What does it cost to buy a home in 2023? Hi, I'm Mark from the Fazzini Group, and we make these videos to help you make better decisions if you're buying or selling in the Tampa Bay area. And if you are looking to buy or sell, we run a real estate team here in Palm Harbor, and we'd love to help you. We've helped over 3,000 clients, and we'd love to give you any advice on areas to look, the process, buying or selling. We'd love to help. Okay, so it's 2023 and there are a lot of changes that have happened in our markets, but I want to give you the general outlook on what it costs to buy a home in today's market. Okay, so we're gonna go through a basic scenario where you're getting a loan, and we're gonna use a random number here of $600,000 for a purchase price. Now, $600,000 can get you a pretty decent home in the Tampa Bay area. We do have many neighborhoods where single family homes are going to be above that, but you're gonna have a good mix of condos, townhomes, and single family homes that you could get in that budget. So what does it cost to actually buy a home if it's a $600,000 home? Because most people are gonna get financing and you're gonna have to have a certain amount down. So we're gonna break down the actual cost that you will pay out of pocket to buy the home and then look at the monthly costs as well. So the biggest cost that you're going to have when you're buying a home is typically your down payment. So down payments can range from 0% down if you are getting a VA loan or have some sort of government financing, or they can stagger up as far as like 3%, 3.5%, 5%, 10%, 20% is typically where you're going to see the ranges. Now, a common misconception is that if you're not a first-time home buyer, you have no access to programs that will help you with your down payment. There are a lot of programs out there, depending on your income, depending on the area you're looking to buy, that can help assist with your down payment. So even if you're not a first-time home buyer, you should look into those and talk to a reputable lender to understand your options. Okay, so let's talk about the down payment. If you are putting, let's say, a modest 5% down on a home, at $600,000, that's going to be about $30,000 that you're going to have saved up to make as your down payment. So that down payment can vary. So if you're going to put 3% down, you're going to have a smaller down payment, but you might have some private mortgage insurance that's an additional cost on the monthly side. And then if you're going to put 20% or more down, you are typically going to avoid that private mortgage insurance, and that is going to be beneficial. However, you're going to be out of pocket a little bit more. So for instance, 20% on our $600,000 house is $120,000 that you would be putting down. Okay, so once you have your down payment set, you're also going to have other costs associated with your loan that not a lot of people are aware of. So a good rule of thumb for all of your closing costs, if you will, would be around 2 to 3% of the purchase price. So in our $600,000 home example, this is going to be around $12,000 to $18,000. So the down payment and the closing costs, those are going to be collected at the actual closing, but there are some costs that you'll have buying a home like as soon as you make a contract on something. So let's kind of talk about that. So you're going to make an offer on a home, it will be accepted. As part of that offer, you're going to have certain terms in the contract. One of those is a earnest money deposit. So this is just good faith money that you're putting to bind the home under contract essentially, and that can typically be around 1 to 2% of the purchase price. So this money, it's called escrow or your deposit. This sits at a title company, and if you don't move forward with the home, it is typically refundable, but that money, if you do end up closing, will go towards that down payment or the closing cost. So let's just say you go put this $600,000 house under contract. The seller might request that you have anywhere between $5,000 or $15,000 as your escrow deposit. Now that's all negotiable. We've had clients do as low as $3,000 to $5,000 on a $600,000 home, but that's just something you'll negotiate with your agent. Okay, so the first cost is that home inspection cost, which will range from $300 maybe to $600 depending on what inspections you do, and that's going to be paid to a home inspector outside of the closing. So you do that, you do your home inspection, you get through the home inspection process. Now you're going to have what is called an appraisal. Now an appraisal is typically going to be fronted or paid by the lender, and you'll see that fee on your closing statement. But the appraisal does cost anywhere from $300 to $500 depending on who is doing it and the time, and if it's ordered on a rush. So that appraisal cost is another fee that you're going to have sort of right from the get-go there. So after you have the appraisal and the home appraises fine, you're moving forward to your actual closing. this is when you're going to have, of course, your down payment money and your closing costs. You're going to get that good faith estimate from your lender and know exactly how much money you need to wire. And then the fun part, what your monthly payment is going to be. So let's talk about monthly payment. So what's included in the monthly payment? So let's use a scenario. The home price is $600,000. You're going to put 20% down, or $120,000. So your actual loan amount is going to be $480,000. And you're getting that loan, it's a 30-year loan at 6.5%. If you use any type of online mortgage calculator, you can find out what your monthly payment would be based on those numbers. So in this example, your monthly mortgage payment is going to be right around $3,000. But you have to add in your property taxes and your home insurance. So when I use the calculator for this, a simple property like this, taxes might be around $8,000 for the year. Home insurance could be around $2,000 for the year. So if we add that additional cost into the mix, you're going to be closer to $3,800 a month for this $600,000 home. And of course, the $3,800 a month is just for this mortgage payment. So you have to also include any HOA fees, utility bills, other costs associated with the home. But this is a good number for your monthly costs associated with this mortgage. So with 5% down, you're gonna, on the $600,000 home, you're putting $30,000 down. Then you're gonna have your closing costs on top of that. The 20% down was $120,000 down plus your closing costs. Remember, we said closing costs are gonna be anywhere from 2 to 3%. So in this example, that's another $12,000 to $18,000. So that gives you a really good idea. On a 20% down example, you're gonna be pretty much all in out of pocket with down payment and closing costs, somewhere around that $135,000 to $140,000. And on the 5% down example, you're gonna be right around that $40,000 to $50,000 as your out of pocket expense. And remember, all of these costs, whether it's the interest rate or the out-of-pocket money, all of these can be negotiated through a transaction. For instance, you could have a seller contribute towards your closing costs, or you could have a seller contribute towards a rate buy down. These are all things that you can negotiate as a buyer depending on the situation. So if you've watched this video to the end, we want to hear from you. We would love to help you in any way we can navigate the real estate process in the Tampa Bay area. Call, text, or email us at one of the numbers or email below, and we'd be happy to talk to you. And we'd love to help.